Hello, everybody. I'm Katrina. This is Sow and Tare Live. We do this usually on Monday nights. Because this Monday was the first Monday of the month, we do it on Thursday. So, welcome, everyone. I know some people are probably still over on Slightly Redneck, so we might give them a couple minutes. Yeah, I am here. We are chatting today about some things. I have an announcement. You probably already know the announcement. If you don't, stick around and find out. And we are going to have a giveaway. Let me move the table closer to me. Not spilling my water. All right. We're going to have a giveaway tonight, which is pretty cool and rare on my channel. So let people come in and hopefully everybody's doing good. Let me know who you are, where you are, what you're growing. Let us know all that. We'll wait till maybe about 6:10, maybe, to do our announcements. Hopefully we get some people in there and go from there. So Steve's here. Oh my goodness, Steve. You came at 11:32 a.m. That's the only warning you get? Oh my gosh. All right, and thank you for the shout out, Steve, for checking out the Katrina's Kids Cook with You Cook with Me lives, and we're going to talk about that tonight as well. And Steve is a moderator. He's in blue with a little wrench, and he has a lot of quail. All right, yep, and we're going to talk about the aviary course coming up. There we go. Thanks, Steve. Verna's here. Verna says, second like, first was given by Steve earlier this afternoon. Oh boy. Thank you, Verna. Verna is Vase Place in blue with a little wrench, and she raises things in her apartment. She does apartment style homestead stuff. So check out her channel. She does a live chat on Saturday mornings. All right. Desiree is here. Welcome. Ooh, did I say it right? Ooh. Too early, it seems. Yep, you're a little early, but that's okay. That's okay. You've been there all day. Steve's been waiting for people all day. Uh-huh. You guys came early. That's okay. All right. You've been in and out all day. You checking on people? Thanks, Steve. Okay. Yeah, Verna has the secret powers, I think. Oh, Verna, you're sharing your secret powers. All right. Oh, Verna wants us to know from Desiree, did you set more eggs? Desiree has quail, and she just incubated some eggs not too long ago. And yeah, I want to know if you set some too. I can see you, Verna. All right. Rita Roost and the Limping Old Farmer. Love the name. Love the name. Welcome. Oh, you got a special invitation from Verna. Awesome. Well, welcome to the channel. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And we're going to be talking about mostly quail tonight, but I invite any homesteading questions. I'm going to kind of go through for a little bit, see who's here. About 6:10, I'll have an announcement. All right. All right, awesome. Thank you, Rita. And Old Farmer. I will probably call you Rita unless you want me to call you something else. All right. Yep. Slightly Redneck was right before us. Joy's here. Hello from Western Oregon. Hello, Joy. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Tommy's here. Aki. Howdy, Earthlings. I promised not to talk about snakes. You talked about snakes earlier. You're done. No, you're good. All right. Everybody's saying hi. All snaked out, Steve said. All right. Everybody's here. So Thursday chats are a little bit different because people are used to seeing me on Monday. So sometimes we get different people in than usual, and sometimes we get, other stuff going. But I am going to go ahead and maybe announce. I said I was going to do it at 6:10, but there you go. Okay. Tommy has a question. What you know about ducks, male to female ratios? I have someone I can trade males for females with, but I want to know the right amounts to keep the husbandry on point. I do not know the ratio for ducks. I know for chickens it's 1 to 10 about. I would imagine it. I mean, ducks pair up, but when you're keeping ducks in a different fashion, I'm not sure how many drakes you need. So if anybody knows that, go ahead and share that with Tommy. I know they pair up at least, kind of like geese do. But I don't know if you have like a flock and if you want eggs, you just need females. I know you know that, Tommy. I'm telling other people who might be listening. You don't need a male to get eggs, but if you want babies out of those eggs, then of course you need at least a drake, a male. And okay, so Steve says 1 drake for every 6 hens. So drake is a male, hen is a female. Thank you, Steve. And Verna says general recommendation for male to female ratio in a duck flock is 1 for every 4 to 6. This ratio helps ensure successful mating while minimizing aggression among males and preventing overmating the females. So just from what you guys have said, because I don't know that answer, just from what you guys have said, I would think there would be some flexibility. So just like in quail, so with quail, people say 1 to 5 male to female ratio, 1 to 4 to 6. So 1 male to 4 to 6 females. And that fluctuates based on the virility of the male. So if you have a male that's a little more chilled and laid back and isn't doing a whole lot, he might get less ladies. If there's a really excitable guy, he might get more. But you also have to pay attention to, are the ladies actually letting them do the job? I one time saved back a male quail that he was beautiful, he was big, he was good structure, all that, and none of the ladies let him do his job. So when I save males back, I save more than I intend to use and then choose once the population of males has gone down. So that's what I do. I have not done ducks yet. I plan to do ducks eventually. I would love to do Muscovy. I think that would be really cool. Little cows. All right. Tommy says I have 2 females, 3 males at the moment. Struggling with which male to get rid of because I have 3 different ones. Oh, yeah. Okay. Dwarf rowan, silver apple yard, and blue suede drake. Okay. Yeah, just get more hens is Verna's response. That way you don't have to get rid of anybody. Yeah. That's an option. All right. Hopefully more people come, and I will probably announce this again, but I want to make sure that people that are coming in and people that rewatch get these announcements earlier on in the program. I am announcing, you guys saw the video today. If not, go ahead and watch it. I am putting up the Raising Quail and Aviary course again. And it was something that was requested by Quail University when that was happening. And when Quail University disbanded, they put the courses back to the instructors. And so it's all to me, it's all mine right now. Which means hi PJ, which means I took the time to, well, 1, I've been doing things, but 2, I took the time to look at some programs, look at some hosting platforms and all of that. And man, it's so expensive, guys. They're so expensive. So I decided instead, and this was on the recommendation of someone to potentially use, is to use Google Drive. And so what I have is a email protected Google Drive folder. And so all of the same content that was on the Quail University platform is now in that folder. It's not a nice, pretty platform. It doesn't do things automatically. When you buy the course, it does have to, I do have to manually input your email into the accepted emails and then send you the link. So it is, I have to do that manually, but it's worth it. It's $25, guys. When the course was before, it was more expensive than that, but it also required payment for the platform and then splitting with Quail University folks. So since I don't have those anymore, it is available cheaper. And Google Drive. Yeah. What did I say? Sorry, I'm seeing what Steve says. Google Drive is not email protected. Good Drive uses email sign-in. Okay, so whatever it is, maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, but basically it's restricted except for if you have certain emails and you sign in with the email. So yeah, I may be using the incorrect terminology, but it basically, I have to put in your email and you access it by using something with your email. Yeah. And Tommy says, yes, they need an email to sign in. It will require a password to use from the originator. Yeah, so that's how it's set up. And so when someone orders it, what you'll receive initially is a link to a PDF, which pretty much says, be patient. We're going to get you the link, right? And then on my side of things, I take that email, I put it in the system, and then I email you the link, and it'll go to where you need to go. If you are doing a gift, because that was asked before, if you're purchasing as a gift, I do have, when you go to check out, there is a place for a gift recipient. And if you're getting it for a gift, then their email is who will be accepted in there. And you can put their email there. If you wanted it to wait until like, oh, can we wait until 2 weeks down the road, I really want it to be a surprise, then that's fine. I can do that. Just put it in the notes, because there is also a notes section in there. So I want to make it as easy for you guys as possible to make whatever, tell me what your needs are, and we'll do that. So anyway, okay, I'm going to go up and see what people are saying, and then I'll actually take you through it and go. I'm seeing something with YouTube. It's not on YouTube. There aren't YouTube videos. There are a few YouTube videos that are in there, like my water system, because I already did that and I didn't feel like doing it again, right? But that's available to everybody too. But the vast majority, like there's only a few of those, is videos that are only on the course. Okay, and they're not on YouTube. And not hosted in YouTube either. Okay, so let me scroll up a little bit. All right. PJ's here. Welcome, PJ. PJ, we're going to talk about Cook With Me Live on the 17th is what I'm scheduling for. We'll see if any other members show up, and we have choices. Okay. Tommy says Google Drive is great. I use it to transfer edits to people I've helped out. Yes, a Google Drive folder is secure, and the only info in the folder is available to see. Yep, that's why I chose that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's not on it. These videos don't live on YouTube. They're videos. They're not YouTube associated. They're on the Google Drive. All right. PJ says, how is everyone tonight? I just got off of work, late shift today. Oh my gosh. Just before I went to work, I stopped at Home Depot and picked up some paver stones to enlarge my son's patio for all my plantings. You need to grow. That's awesome, PJ. Yeah. Yeah, you can upload them as unlisted, but I'd rather just keep it separate from YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Yes, got it. You guys are just chatting tech. All right, so I'm going to go through how to get to the course so you guys can see it. It's also in the video that I put out today, but I'm just going to go through it, and I should have prepped for that, but I didn't. Okay. So what do I want to do? I want to share screen, share this screen, share. Okay, so sowandtare.com is the general website, my general website. I'll put it in there. 17th is fine? Okay, thank you. So this is the website, and it has all sorts of stuff. There's a home. It does have some links I need to change, but information, who are we, about, there's some information about me, my background. There's also education opportunities. We go into education, and there's some different, some different things there. Consulting, I can consult on things. And then in here, we go to shop, and there's all sorts of stuff in here. I don't have anything quail related right now, but I do have some other things in there. But where you find the course is right here, and that is courses and workshops. And this is the Raising Quail and Aviaries course. $25, totally affordable. We click on that, and I am actually going to put this link in here, link to aviary course. Yeah, I can spell. Okay. So there's a link to the course. And then what you'll see here, there's a picture of me, there's a picture of a quail. And then this right here is an intro. My name's Katrina Krakow. I am your instructor for the Raising Quail and Aviaries course. I'm currently in one of my aviaries, and it is exciting to see you. This course will discuss topics specific to aviaries. All right, so you guys can watch that on your, if you want to watch that, you can watch that. That's the intro. I think it's like 4 minutes long. Yeah, 4.4. So if you would like to purchase, here's the description. Here's the advice that, it's manually done. So I have to, it might take a couple days if I'm not near my computer. When you add it to the cart, it's taking a while. What's going on? Okay. Oh, it says 2. I don't know why it says 2. You can view cart, and here you see what it is. When you go to checkout, that's where the specific information comes in. So this right here, if this is a gift, please include their email here. And that is where you put if it's a gift. And then if you have notes, then you can put it here, and I will be able to get those notes once it's paid for. So again, it's not $50. It's there we go. It's 25. So it will also figure tax. Oregon does not have sales tax at all. Other states don't have sales tax on digital media, and there are some states that do have sales tax. So it will automatically figure the tax. I don't get involved in that. So that is where to go. I will stop sharing and see if you guys want to, if any of that was confusing or you want to see something again, let me know. And I will scroll up and see where we left off. PJ says also picked up a half-price fig tree while I was there. That's awesome. And my favorite goat, the 3-legger former house goat, had 2 baby girls. Oh, 1 survived. Okay. All right. The 17th is next. No, not next Sunday. Not this weekend, but next weekend, Sunday. And that is when the Cook With Me Live Katrina's Kits group will be cooking together. And so I guess I'll say this now since we're talking about it. We do a Cook With Me Live every month. It's the membership. So if you look down below this, and you can see join. If you join the channel, become a channel member. That's what that is. And we cook something together every month. Me and my kitchen, you and yours, and we talk to each other on video. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to even be on the video. You can be a snooper. um, and so this month I had some ideas. So my one of my neighbors has a booming garden, and I did not start mine soon enough to. It doesn't have anything right now coming out of it. But she has been sending her husband over. I have a bunch of zucchini now, and so I have been trying to do this video for a couple of years, and I keep on forgetting to film it or record it. And that is making pineapple out of zucchini. So it's a canning recipe. You don't have to can it, but it's a canning recipe out of the National Center for Home Food Preservation website. And it basically, if you have an overflow of zucchini and you really want pineapple, you could make pineapple. It's a water bath thing, so really all you need is a stock pot at minimum. You don't even have to have a water bath canner. So that is one thing that I'm thinking would be good. If not, I will do a video on that separately. And then another thing I was thinking, which I want to do eventually, is like a coconut chicken curry with like naan bread or rice. And so those are the two separate things that I'm thinking about doing. And now we haven't done a Cook With Me live that has to do with canning yet. And so that might be interesting to people. And zucchini is happening right now. So that's why I was thinking that. All right. So PJ, let me know. Any other Katrina's Kits, let me know if you guys are on or if you come on later. Send me a message and we'll go from there. We are doing a giveaway a little later in the show for the aviary course. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I put it in the cart and then I put it in the cart again. That's why there was two there. Anyway, yes, 10 days from today is the 17th. That makes sense. 7 plus 10 is 17. Thank you, Verna. I was struggling with that. This weekend? No, it's not this weekend. It's next weekend. Okay, so PJ's zucchini are just starting to flower. So maybe not this month, unless you think you're going to have zucchini by then, or you have a neighbor that has zucchini by then. All right, so maybe not as a Cook With Me live. So that's what I was thinking. The other thing that I was thinking is that there's these biscuits that I like to make that have a lot of different you can do it with any veggies, but I think what they have in the recipe is shredded zucchini. You cut up really small broccoli and carrot. I think that's what it was. But you can do really any veggies in it, and it's like a biscuit that is your meal. So anyway, let me know what you guys see. Okay, you want to do zucchini? All right. PJ is the only member on here, so you're the decider maker. Bow tie's here. Bow tie, we're gonna do a giveaway. Stick around for the Raising Quail and Aviary course. Welcome, welcome. All right. So PJ, I'm hearing zucchini is what we should do. Okay, we are going to make pineapple out of zucchini. It's I think it's called faux pineapple or fake pineapple or something like that. And if you're going to can it, you do need canning jars. If you're not going to can it, then you don't. But in the Cook With Me live, we'll can it. Yeah, pretty cool. Yes, loves dashboard cooking. Bowtie says, "Hey, if it's hot, do it. There's no reason not to. No reason to heat up your kitchen. There are some things that don't work, like, sweet potato, and you really don't want to try meat, in the low 90s or upper 80s. It really has to be in the upper 90s, stuff like that. So, yeah. Oh, Steve is asking a clarifying question of PJ. Is your yummy on the zucchini or the coconut? Chicken curry too. Okay. Well, we can do zucchini now and chicken curry later. Does that work? Like a coconut curry, a coconut. I think it's coconut chicken. You know, I just made one up the other day, and I was like, let me look up a recipe after that, because what I did is I took coconut milk, coconut cream, coconut milk, whatever it is, the can, and I cut up and I cooked the parsnips and carrots and cooked those first. And then, oh, you're on a date with Mrs. Bowtie. All right, we'll see you later. And then I put into the pan, I put that coconut milk, the thick one, I don't know if it's coconut cream, coconut milk, and a jar of rabbit, and the juice that it's in, or the water it's in. And then I have freeze-dried cubes of salsa. So I don't remember if I did one or two of those. And then I have chunks of freeze-dried tomato sauce, and I put that into, and then I don't know what I added, turmeric and black pepper and a bunch of spices. And then I added the veggies in a little later, and it was really, really good. So I was like, ooh, we should make something like this during the Cook With Me Live. But we can do zucchinis first. Okay. Let's go back up. All right. You cooked ramen on your dashboard decades ago? And Verna says, try real food like meat. All right. Hey, Desiree. The Little Special Quail has an update. We would love to hear the update of your Little Special Quail. Send you the freeze-dried stuff? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can definitely. What I like about using the freeze-dried, and I haven't used much of the freeze-dried tomato sauce, because what I figured out pretty quickly is that when you make a tomato-based product or a sauce-based product, it really should sit for a while. Because like if you're making spaghetti sauce and you can spaghetti sauce and you set it aside and then you get it out, it has all the time to meld the flavors, and you don't get that in a freeze-dried product. So you have to let it meld before it goes into the freeze dryer. So that's something I need to think about. But it's super neat to just grab some freeze-dried tomato sauce and just crinkle it in, because you don't have to wait for it to boil down then. Because if you just did tomato sauce, you'd have to wait for it to come down, then get the liquid off. So yeah. All right, it is 6:30. Melding makes sense. Yes, it does. It is 6:30. I am going to do a giveaway. Do you guys want to do it now, or do you guys want to wait a little bit for the Raising Quail and Aviary course? Food Forest Permaculture is here. Welcome, welcome. Good evening, Katrina and fellow Earthlings. Just come back from picking pears. Ooh, my pears are probably, I'm going to say, a couple weeks from being ready. That's what I'm going to say. So yeah, pears are so good. And I plan on canning a bunch of pears. I already have pear butter, but I might make more. What are you doing to preserve your pears? I would like to know. And then I'm going to read Desiree's quail thing. His name is Bug now. I like to call him Bug, but 90% sure he's male. He no longer has trouble drinking water. Good. He still has a head shake, also likes to wipe his beak on everything for some reason. My chickens are funny. My chickens will wipe their mouth on my pants. I'm like, really, guys? I have a napkin? Yeah, they're fun. Well, good. I'm glad he's doing well. All right. Everybody saying hi to Howie with Food Forest Permaculture, who is going to tell us what you're going to do with your bears. One of the Cook With Me lives that we did, and that again, that's the channel membership that you're welcome to join. We made a delicious. I had it in my head. I looked out and I got some recipes and I changed it a little bit, and we made it was delicious. PJ can attest to this. We made a garlic. What was it? It was ricotta and pear butter in ravioli with a garlic cream sauce, a roasted garlic cream sauce. It was delicious. It was so good. Maybe we'll do that again at some point. Yeah, it was amazing. Howie's keeping his pear secrets all to himself. All right. Desiree says he's made friends with the chicken chicks. He's about the same size as them now. Okay. Okay, you just picked on under 100 pounds. So what are you going to do with under 100 pounds? I love that you just reported, it's not that much. It's under 100 pounds. That's a lot of pears. Oh. What's the giveaway? Desiree, were you not on my... Let's go on here again. Let's share the screen. My Raising Quail in Aviaries course on my website here, Sow and Tare. The course is online, and it is $25. It's available on my website. There's a little intro video here if you want to watch the intro video. Talks about it here, and so it's available online again. It was part of Quail University, and when Quail University disbanded, the courses went back to the instructors, and I've been looking for a platform and decided I'm going to do it the cheap way, so it does not have to pass on costs to people, and manage it myself in a Google Drive situation. And so that is where it's being hosted. And that is the same course that was on Quail University. So, and again, you can find that on the website, sowandtare.com. So, yeah, that is the giveaway. Wedding clothes. Are you getting married? Congratulations. Okay, PJ was talking about the ravioli. Says, yes, it was so good. Even though my ravioli didn't hold together, I forgot about that. All right. Howie says, canning whole pears and pear butter, eating fresh. You can them with the center and the skin? I've never heard of that. So, Anime, did you buy the 101 course, or did you buy the aviary course? Because I am going to be getting the emails of people from Linda that already purchased the course. You do not have to purchase it again. So if you did already pay for this course in Quail University, do not purchase it again. I will get your email from Linda, and your email, I will send you an email. So yeah, okay, so you bought the 101 course. So this is a different course. Yeah. Okay, going up. Oh, you're going to a wedding. I am wearing the same top, and yes, that was by design. Thank you for noticing, PJ. Yeah, so Steve, my Raising Quail and Aviary course was a part of Quail University. It was a part of it, and it wasn't a part of it for very long because it disbanded maybe like 6 months after it was on there. So it was actually on their platform for a while. So some people did pay for it on there, and then it hasn't had a home. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're going to do the drawing at some point. All right. Tommy says, back. Sorry, wife was telling me she is looking for another management job. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is not the same course as the 101 course, and I'll share this again. So this is the same course that was on Quail University, but the Raising Quail and Aviary course. This is the course that I created about quail, raising quail in aviaries. It has a lot of good information about structure. If you're looking information about the bottom part, if you're deep litter or other options, sand baths, the prey psychology, how to interact with your quail, how to most enjoy your quail in an aviary setting, and to make sure that they are healthy and happy. So yeah, it's on my website. Again, I'll put that. Oh, maybe not the shopping cart. Let's go to. And there's other things on my shop. Okay, so here's that, and there we go. There is the course right there. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up and see what happened. You're building a wonky cage. All right. Oh, you didn't say it wasn't on Quail University. You said it's a different course from the 101. Got it. Thank you, Steve. Okay. Why did Quail University disband? I know Linda had some personal things for family and had to deal with some things. And so everybody's happy with each other. There wasn't like any fight that broke out or anything like that. It was literally just, there was too much, I think mostly on her plate. I was not involved in that because I'm an instructor. I wasn't part of the starting of Quail University. So yeah, but everybody talks to each other. Everybody's happy with each other. Like, it's not like I don't want to start any rumors about that or anything. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. So Steve says Linda ran Quail University. She got pulled back into the real world and couldn't provide the needed time for Quail University. That's exactly right. Yep. Life got in the way. Yep. Yep. All right. A sensei. Thanks, Tommy. All right. Are we ready to do this thing? Anybody else joining? Call people that might want to join for this. All right. I'm going to get the giveaway tool going. And what you should put in the, we're going to do this on an automatic thing, with a random thing. It's going to be #aviary, lowercase, and I'm putting it in the chat so you know what it is, aviary. And so wait, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Hang on. Start collecting comments. Okay, go ahead and put it. PJ, you might want to do it again. Oh, share screen. Share screen. Giveaway tool. There we go. The giveaway, Tommy, is the Raising Quail in Aviaries course that is now on my website. So if you want that, and PJ, I think you did it before it started collecting, so go ahead and do it again. If you do it 10,000 times, it's only going to count once. So I'll give you guys some time. If you want the course, go ahead and put the hashtag AV and lowercase aviary in, and you only need to do it once. And we'll give some time while we talk. So this is a course that Quail University, when it was still together, requested of me. They requested that I make this, and I spent a lot of time making this course for you guys. And aviary, what? Avery? AVIARY. There we go. And so they approached me to ask me to make it, and I spent a lot of many hours making this. And It was on Quail University as a part of Quail University for a while. And then, as I said, when Quail University disbanded, the courses were given back to the instructors. And so that's what happened now. So anybody who wants it, is everybody happy with their selection of hashtag aviary? If you're just joining and you don't know what this is a giveaway, a free giveaway for the Raising Quail and Aviary course. And I think I'm going to do it. Are we ready? 5 entries. All right, we have 10 people. Are the other 5 people not interested in quail? That's fine if you're not. We're not interested in doing that. Last chance. All right. Then we'll get to test out how this works, right? That's the other thing. Because this is a manual process, yeah, I'm going to give it a few minutes. Because this is a manual process, it can take some time to get to you, because I do have to manually input your email into the accepted emails for access and then email you a link. So that's basically how it works. And if I'm near a computer, I can do it right away. Or if I'm like at my parents' for the weekend, it won't happen until I get back, right? So just recognize that if you get it. Tommy's asking, we could share the giveaway if you like, try to bring more in. I don't know what that means. But yes, if you are doing the giveaway and you want the giveaway to go to someone else, all I need is their email. And we can do that. Same thing if you want to buy the course for someone else as a gift. In the checkout procedure, it has a place for gift recipient email, and then they would get the course. So whatever it is, share the live. Yeah, you can absolutely share the live at any point. Yeah, you can tell people to get on here. Okay, I didn't understand what you were saying. Yeah, we'll wait a little bit then. So yeah, if you're going to get it as a gift for a friend, and let's say that your niece is going into raising quail, and you really want her to have this course, but her birthday's not until next month, and you don't really want to send her an email to get it right now, but you want to make sure you get it. Then what you would do is you go into the form, and when you check out, and it'll have gift recipient email, and then it'll have a notes section. And in that notes section, you can put, please don't send this out until such and such a date. And hopefully it's a date that works with me. And we can figure out that, or something like that. Yeah. Steve says, or maybe not do the giveaway and make an announcement that you're going to give one away and name a date to do it then. You don't want me to do it now? We can do it now. You guys can vote on that. I'm planning on giving something away tonight. We can do giveaways later. We're not going to do like one each time, but it can happen again at some later point. So now Desiree has put her vote. No. All right. Let's give it 2 more minutes and see if anybody else comes in and wants to do this. But yeah, it's a really good course. I do have a quail aviary playlist on my YouTube channel, and you're not going to argue with Desiree. I wouldn't either. So I do have now a quail aviary playlist on my channel, on my YouTube channel, and that has a lot of good information. This course goes into much more depth than my YouTube videos. And you guys who know me know I'm pretty dang thorough. And so I believe I've thought through a lot of things. And then as time progresses, I will be adding things to this. When I start my quill up here again, I have a design in my head. Things have to happen in order though. So yeah. Yeah, exactly, Steve. You can use the course to help with other birds, not just quail. Yeah, so you can help, and I mean general husbandry, general prey. I like thinking about animals from a prey point of view. I talk about that and all of that. So yeah, there'll be more in the future. So yeah. So I will be adding to this course, and people who have already paid for it will have access to it because it's going to go in that same folder. And then I'll send out an email. Hey guys, just added this. So I'll keep those people on an email list so that when something is added, that we have that. I'm also thinking about, and I haven't done it yet, I'm thinking about making a Facebook group for people that have the course. And I think that would be a really good idea. You guys can let me know what you think, so that people can share things and all of that. And then another thing that I wanted to ask you guys is, when you do the course, if you have a review, let me know. If something doesn't work, let me know immediately. But if you have a review, let me know, that, so I can promote it, and all of that. And then also, if there's something that you think is missing or you would like to see in it, like, hey, I would really like to have this information, or even for other courses, because I am planning on doing some other courses over time, and that are in very good detail. I mean, this took me a very long time to put together. So, okay, let me scroll up and read this, and then I think it's time to roll the dice here. All right. Tommy says we may not be smart men, but we do know when not to argue. You can use the course to help with other birds, not just quail. Yep. Anime says, so far I think all the quail I have hatched are male. One might have a possibility of being female, but it's looking more male at the moment. And Desiree, remember last time we talked, it's not common, but female quail can crow. Say that 10 times fast. They can, and it may be a defense mechanism to kind of stay silent, because otherwise it'd be like way overbred. But I did have one that did that, and she ended up being my most broody mama, and she was the Nana that I actually brought into the brooder to be a Nana to the babies, which worked wonderfully. Steve says, do I say congrats, PJ, now, or should I wait? Did you just stack the deck? Oh my gosh. All right. Can't tell them apart till the males begin to foam. So yeah, Tommy, there are feather sexable quail and there are non-feather sexable quail. The feather sexable quail you can tell at 3 weeks old. The non-feather sexable quail you can tell at about 6 weeks old and or younger, by vent sexing. So, and if people are curious about that, on my quail playlist, there are videos showing both of those. Yeah. Oh, Andy's not here, so PJ's our only competition. Where is Andy? She was on the earlier one. All right. Howie says packaging the smoked sockeye for the freezer and listening. Awesome. Did you enter this? Are you going to raise quail or give it as a gift? Hashtag aviary, if so. All right. So Tommy says, and besides the spotting or striping on their breasts, pending on the, well, not breed, but variety. Yeah. Okay, you have had hen chickens that crow as well, especially on the game birds. But I had some really old world game birds. Yeah. And I know in chickens specifically, sometimes it can be if there's no rooster, one will take the place of a rooster and they start to crow. So yeah. Hens with spurs and crow. Yeah, they have some interesting things. All right, Desert says 2 silvers and a mystery color and a Tibetan. Awesome. All right, we're going to roll the dice here. You guys ready? Is it drum roll? And we're going to draw. Wait, is it showing it? Yes. Draw. Hey, Desiree, you won. Congratulations to Desiree. Awesome, awesome. So I know you're looking at doing this. So this is awesome. Desiree, email me at sowandtare@gmail.com. So Desiree, go ahead and email me at that address and let me know what email address you want me to add. And then you can make an aviary and have all the information you need for that. That is awesome. And you're just starting your journey with quail. So that is awesome. Oh, there's Erica. Welcome, Erica. That is awesome. So everybody say congratulations to Desiree. She definitely is going to use this. And yeah, you never win giveaways, so you're shook. Well, you won this giveaway here. Take a picture of the screen. Take a picture of the screen, Desiree. Let me know when you have, and then I can remove it. All right. So yeah, that's good. And then let people know. Oh, Kelly, did you miss the drawing? Kelly's here, Feather Connections. We just did the drawing for the Raising Quail in Aviary course. Desiree, anime gamer creator, won. And it's not her wedding, Steve. And yeah, is awesome. Awesome. All right. Desiree, if you haven't taken the picture of the gotta take memories. I'm gonna take it away, and if you want me to put it back up, then we can put it back up. Okay, so yeah, Desiree, make sure you email me that, and then if something doesn't work, let me know. You're the guinea pig. All right, let me scroll up here, see if I missed anything. We were talking about females crowing. Tommy says, in one instance, I had a female away from the cocks. After 4 days, she started crowing. Yep. What bee's color is? Anyway, I think you put that on the Facebook group, right? You want to put a. He's not old. It's not old enough yet. Maybe. How old is it? It's the Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook group. If you're not already joined, I know Anime you are. If you're not already joined, go ahead and join that. You have to accept the rules and all that, answer questions. But Desiree, if you can post your baby bees picture in there, and how old is it? It's not that old, is it? Maybe someone can tell you what color it is. And the parentage is somewhere in the Silver Schofield collection or Tibetan. Is that right? Yeah, let us know the parentage in that post as well. All right. Congratulations to Desiree. All right. And Erica's here. So, Erica, you are Katrina's kit. We have decided what to do, and hopefully it's okay with you, and maybe you have veto power. I don't know. You guys will have to fight. 17th, not this Sunday, next Sunday. Sunday the 17th, 11 a.m. Pacific time, our same time. We are going to make fake pineapple out of zucchini. So I'm just going to tell people what you need for this. You need zucchini, pineapple juice, sugar, and lemon juice. I believe those are the only ingredients. You can shred the pineapple or you can cut it up. I've done shredded, and it's been perfect. It's just like shredded or just like crushed pineapple. So you can do, either one, but that's what we're going to do. We are going to can it. If you do not have, it's a water bath process, so you don't need a pressure canner or anything. You don't even need a canner. All you need is a big, like, soup pot. So if you have a big soup pot and you have jars, mason jars, make sure they're mason jars. That's the ingredients that you need. And and if you're not a member yet, I am going to put the link here. We're going to have a lot of fun. And where is link? Here we go. So here's how to become a member. This is this link here. And so, yeah, if you have zucchini going, or if there's a farmer's market with zucchini, that's what we're doing. And it is a way to preserve zucchini in a different way, and in a way that you don't get squishy zucchini. It's not in your freezer, and it's not squishy canned zucchini. So yeah, there you go. Awesome. All right, everybody's saying congrats to Desiree. Hello to Kelly. All right, Tommy says we got 2 more of the old world game birds too. They are 55-year pure lineage from a guy I know. Rescuing where you can. Yep. Ooh, Kelly says, hey guys, yes, I missed it. Darn. You came on right after. Got a barfy kiddo, but that's okay. I can't do an aviary in city. Oh, that's so sad. So I would say Kelly's in a very different situation. But in most cities, you can have quail if you can't have chickens. In most cities. And most cities that say you can't have roosters intend it to be chicken roosters. So you play the card of this is a quail. Where I was didn't even have quail in the ordinances at all. So you definitely can do this in a small system. Anybody who's new to the channel, go ahead and look at some of my older, just look through my quail playlist. I was on a property that was 7,000 square feet, and I had over 50 fruit trees, a pond that I dug, raised rabbits for meat, 3 pet chickens that poop breakfast, and raised quail for meat and eggs, and had garden space. And you can do a lot on a small plot of land. And I had 2 aviaries that were about 7 by 10 feet. And so you can do a lot. Check out some of those videos on the either the quail playlist or the quail aviary playlist, and that will be super helpful to you because chances are you can fit it. All right. Okay, the picture for Desiree is on the Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook group. Awesome. Yeah, Desiree, just go. You don't have to. Oh, you're going to message me on Facebook instead of doing the email. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering if you can take a more current picture of him because he's at least a week older now than when he was honking. Yeah. Oh, your birds aren't for eating, huh? All right. Yeah, PJ says, sorry about the kiddo, Kelly. Hope nobody else gets it. Absolutely. Okay, so Steve says neither Silver Schofield collection or Tibetan are feather sexable. Yeah, but what she wants to know is what color is it? Yeah, so 7 weeks you should be able to tell what color it is. I am not good at the whole what color is it because it's a special color thing. Someone else might be. And you can put it on there. You can also put it in the Newbie Quail Lovers Facebook group. There's a wider experience of there. I don't know. Has anybody on here raised Silver Schofield collection? Yeah. Aquatic News Network says always lemon juice, always. Citrus is the trickster of all fruit flavors. Well, I mean, pineapple juice is pretty acidic and it works too. So, yeah. So Anime says Tibetan, if you look close enough, you can tell, but it's really hard. Yeah. One speck of difference. All right. Telling the difference on jumbo whites. Okay. Well, I mean, you can vent sex. You should be able to vent sex that one now. It's 7 weeks old, and if it's getting enough, it's inside though, right? How many hours of light do you have inside? Because it should be about 14 to 16 hours of light. If it's not getting enough light, then if it's a male, the testes are the size of grains of rice. So it's not going to foam. If it's getting 14 to 16 hours of light, then the testes will be more like that big, and it will foam. Yeah. Tommy says, plus quail sound beautiful. It's not an annoying sound like a rooster crowing. Exactly. Though I don't even notice it anymore. If I didn't hear them crowing, I would think it's a apocalypse. You know, it's funny because my quail would react to blimps. So if there was a blimp going over, they would just and pause wherever they are and look up and like duck and look up. And then if the jays or crows were flying over being talkative, they would do the same thing. But they didn't really react to anything else. Yeah. All right. Desiree says I might have 3 hens and 1 rooster for my chickens. You might need more chickens. Well, actually, you said those are for meat, right? It should be fine then. Yeah, Verna, some people have nosy neighbors. That is true. All right. Tommy, that's a great question. Is there anyone that is making videos on supplemental food for quail rather than paying the extremely high cost for high protein food for them? I mean, I know there are certain things you can add, but is there anybody that's made videos on taking them off crumble or micro pellet and being fully on a natural diet of sorts? Has that worked? I have a suspicion that Dale with Dale's Quails at least would have the answer to that question. And Tommy, if you don't already have a connection with him, he's on all the quail groups, and you can message him. Try messaging him on there. Dale's Quails is what he's under. Of all the people I know, he's the person that I think would have either tried it or would have researched papers about it. So as far as taking them off the crumble, as far as what you can give quail, I've done that tons of times. So you can give quail whatever you can give chickens. The only caveat to that is in the first 8 weeks of their life, they need a higher protein. So mealworms and black soldier flies are both options for increasing proteins. However, one of them, mealworms, is that right? I think it's mealworms that has more calcium. So you don't want to load up on the calcium for the young ones because they don't need it yet. They only need more calcium once they start laying eggs. So I think it's black soldier flies that has less calcium. Somebody check me on that, please. Yeah. And so that's the only caveat. As far as like breeders and stuff or treats or whatever, that they can eat a whole lot of different things. I mean, they have hunted spiders. I think one got bit by a spider. He had a bump on his head for a little bit. But they hunt all sorts of bugs. They destroy anthills. They go after greens like crazy. Fruit is awesome. Meat is awesome if they can either tear it or swallow whole. So you want to either cut it up small or have it supple enough that they can just yank on it. When I do bone broth, what I do is I do bone broth twice through, 3 hours each, in the pressure cooker. And what that results in is really good broth, but then also the bones are squishy, and the any meat that's on there would go in there as well. And they eat that up. The chickens and them will eat that up because it has basically all it is calcium left over with some other things, but and then some protein. But things not to feed them, for sure, no avocado. I know 2 people who have lost quail to avocado. It makes them have a cardiac arrest. So just don't do it. If you're doing leftovers, no avocado. No citrus. I don't know what citrus does to them, but that's always a no-no. I suspect it's something about the peel, but I do not know for sure. No iceberg lettuce. Once or twice is probably fine, but there is something in it that once built, if they get too much of it, can mess with them. And then no allium, so that's the onions, garlic, leek, whatever else is in that family. So other than that, you can give your quail and your chickens a lot of different things, and they will eat it up. You don't really want to do too much fruit because they'll end up having very stinky poo, and we already know they have stinky poo, and they'll have a little runny poo if they have too much. They will love it. I mean, they love it, but so sticking with more of the greens is a good idea. Worms, they eat worms, little bugs, all that stuff. So yeah, I would contact Dale from Dale's Quails and see if he has done any research on that, which I'm sure he has. I'm positive he has. Tell him I sent you. Okay. Desiree said you never wrote an email before? Oh my goodness. All right. So Desiree, you have an email account because you have a name on Gmail. So your email is on there. And so that's the email that you would need, or another one if you want a different one. But that's the email that you would need because you do need an email to access. So I can walk you through that if you want to message me later. But we'll get it to you. Yeah. But I know you have an email because you have a name on YouTube. Just the same. If you have a Gmail, you have a YouTube channel. It's just not public. It might not have anything on it. So it goes both ways. All right. Yeah, exactly, Verna. Your town is full of those people, Tommy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Kelly from Feather Connections said, I popped in to say hi, but I gotta get my kiddo tucked back in and more of the house sterilized. Hope we don't catch this stomach bug. Good to see you guys. Hugs. Good to see you, Kelly. I'm glad you popped in. I'm sorry you missed, that, but definitely like your customers. So she's located in Utah. Let your customers know this course exists, and if they're wanting to do aviaries, I would appreciate sending them over. Okay. Anime says they are in our room, so lots of light, but for how long? That's the key. I mean, if your ladies are laying eggs, it's probably enough. All right. Yeah, and there is a difference in the cloaca between male and female. Tommy says to Desiree, I love that you keep them in your room. I love the smell of quail. They put off this gamey scent that just brings out the caveman in me. Oh my goodness. Oh, Desiree said the aggressive male just crowed. He's upset. I have his friend. Now, is this quail aggressive, or does he have a lack of females? Because it could, or I guess this is the one you said runs at you or something, right? Yeah. There's going to be a section in the course that'll help you mitigate that. Yeah. Yeah, I was being nice with my words, Verna. Tommy says that I smell Just brings out something primitive. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Yes, Dales with apostrophe S, quails. Tommy. Steve says if you have internet, you have email address. By default, your internet provider gives you one. That is also true, but sometimes it's like hidden in things. But yeah, if you're able to comment on YouTube, then you have a Gmail. Thank you, Steve, for putting his website. Dale's gonna be like, who the heck is asking me these questions? Sorry, Dale, or you're welcome. I might as well put in the plug here. Dale's Quails also sells all sorts of things. He sells quail cages and brooders, and I think he even does little tiny tractors. He's usually pretty backed up. I don't know what his workload is right now, but he's also urban living, doing all sorts of stuff on his land. Okay, Steve has the answer. Black soldier fly have super fantastic high protein and calcium. 40-50% protein. But remember, when feeding non-manufactured feed, you have to provide other vitamins and nutrients besides protein. Exactly. And Verna says black soldier fly larvae contain significantly more calcium than mealworms. Okay, so I had it backwards. Some sources state that black soldier fly can have 50 to 85 times more calcium than mealworms. This high calcium content make black soldier fly larvae a better choice for supplementing the diet of animals that need extra calcium, like chickens, especially during egg laying. Yeah, so maybe when they're babies, do more heavy on the mealworm side, and then when they get older, black soldier flies. And black soldier flies and mealworms you can grow. I have wanted to do this, and I have not yet. Black soldier flies eat many things. They can eat all the way up to poop and meat. Mealworms will eat things. I've heard of people putting mealworms on those things and they would do it, but it's not like what they do. So yeah. Okay, Tommy says citrus high in acid probably hurts their mouth or throat. So Tommy, I know I looked it up for worms because you're not supposed to put that in your worm housing either. And for the worms, it had to do with when you peel into an orange that spritz, that is a particular kind of acid that the worms avoid. So it's not necessarily that it's going to kill them. It's just they're not going to go near it. And that could potentially result in rotting food within the system. And so that's why I was saying I don't know if it's the same with chickens, if they just wouldn't eat it, or if it caused a problem. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. Tommy says, I tried duckweed for a while, but it is really hard to grow enough duckweed to sustain them. Yeah, it grows really fast, but sustainability is different. You would need like a giant property with commercial koi pond set up and hope the koi don't eat it. Good luck. Cautionary on duckweed. It is an awesome food for animals. It's high protein. It has all the good stuff. It's good nutrition. However, pay attention to what the water is growing in because it is a heavy metal accumulator. So if you have high metal content in your water, it will accumulate into those plants. And heavy metals accumulate throughout the food chain. So if you're feeding that to your quail and your quail is feeding you, then you just made yourself more metal. That's not good. Yeah, Desiree said my chick loves to hunt bugs. It's hilarious to watch them. They are so good at it too. Yeah. Tommy says had to keep the sheep away from the duckweed because of the metal absorption and possibly copper absorbent. Yep. Sheep don't do well with the copper. Desiree says when he was 1 week, he saw a moth on my boyfriend and chased it down and ate it. Exactly. They are born to hunt. They're little hunters and huntresses. Yeah. People don't realize that until you see them. And you see a lot more of that natural behavior in an aviary setting, and it's awesome. Yeah. All right. No, her boyfriend didn't chase it down and eat it. Silly Steve. Okay, for those joining, we did a drawing for the Raising Quail and Aviary course. Anime Gamer, who is Desiree, won it, and that is awesome because she's been talking about getting stuff done outside. And I'm going to do this one more time. Not that. I'm going to share the screen. Again, just in case people are joining. So this is the home page of my website. It has good information here. And then shop is right here. This is where you go to get courses and workshops. There's going to be more courses and workshops. I do plan on the next, so in late fall, early winter, I'm going to be doing a on-site rabbit processing workshop where people can take a rabbit home. But that's going to be for people here or visiting here. Like it's not an online thing. That's going to be an in-person thing. So this is going to be where you click for workshops. And then right here is the course. It's $25. There is a little intro video if you want to know more about it. That video is right here. And then you can purchase that. And so that's just an overview. Where did you guys go? Where did you guys go? I lost you. What the heck? Uh-oh. There you are. Okay. I found you guys. Okay. Okay, Tommy says citrus can also create and cause histamine responses as well. Too much of it is not good if you're eating lots of juice. If you are eating lots of juice or if the birds are eating lots of juice. Yeah. Her hens are laying. She has enough light. I think that's what it is. Definitely no eggs yet. No, not from Desiree, we're talking about the ones that, so like you have eggs and you put them in the incubator. Are those mamas still laying eggs? If they're still laying eggs, then you have enough light. If they're not still laying eggs, then you need to put more light on them. 14 to 16 hours of light. And they can lay all winter. You don't have to have them lay all winter, but if you put more light on them, then they will. So that's what we're talking about. And if there is enough light for the hens to lay, then there is enough light for the males to show their reproductive stuff. So if you have a little one that is 7 weeks old, if it's a he should be mounting by now. And you should be able to vent sex by now. And you can look, I'm going to find this. So here, YouTube doesn't like names like vent sexing, so you get to name things creatively. So Anime, go ahead and watch that video. You can fast forward through parts if you want, but go ahead and watch that video, and that will show you how to vent sex. All right. Drinking juice. Oh boy. 14 hours. Okay. Yeah, so that should be enough hours. Yeah, so 14, 16 hours. 16 is good. 14 is kind of on the limit. 18 is a little bit high. Yeah, Anime, there's going to be some husbandry stuff in this course that's going to help you with that quail. And frankly, I will say this right out. There are quail that are jerks that you're never going to be able to help, or you're going to spend a lot of time doing so. But yeah. So there are some that are just jerks, and then there are some that you can work with to make them less so. He loves cuddling his friends. All right. You may have a she. gosh, Tommy. Always out of the things you want. Who is always out? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Steve, why don't you message Desiree? Not on here, but you can message her email address. But I think she needs to know how to get to it. So Desiree, maybe after this, if you can stay on, and we can message on Facebook, and we'll figure it out. Okay. Tommy says, find a local fish store or fish club and buy their pet snails, ram's horn, and bladder snails. Chickens will love them, and the shells are straight calcium. How big are those snails? Because I know quail will they'll eat smaller slugs. And chickens will eat all sorts of things. But their beaks are not as strong as chickens. So if they can't swallow it whole, it probably won't work whole, and you'll probably have to break it up. Yeah. Okay, so Anime's going to get more hens. Good. And my luck with hatching all males right now sucks. Yeah, so this is a good point. So Steve says if you get some, we're talking about really any animal, but we're talking about quail right now. If you get some at the swamp, keep them away from your birds by at least 50 feet for at least 30 days. I would do as far as you can. There are diseases that show up. I don't think you have enough to have a sacrificial bird, but oftentimes people will keep a sacrificial bird right next to these animals so that if something shows up, that bird gets sick, you can tell there's a difference. That way you don't bring things into your flock. And then also wash your hands between areas and all of that. So that is something that is important to do. Thank you, Steve, for saying that. Metal poisoning. Who has metal poisoning? I don't know what you're talking about, Desiree. So if I eat animals that ate high metals, can I turn into a robot? I don't know, can you? That's not the way the world works. Yeah, aviary would be great. Aviaries are always great. It's closer to their naturalness. Yeah, you didn't lose me, but I lost you. I understand. I understand. All right. I think we already talked about that. Yeah, all of her quail right now are inside, Brenna. Okay, so Desiree, it looks like Steve sent you a message on Facebook about how to find your Gmail. Thank you for doing that, Steve. Yeah, it's a good course. And like I said, this is the first time I'm using Google Docs for this purpose, and or not Google Docs, Google Drive for this purpose. And I'd like to use it more if it works well. And so if Desiree, if you can let me know, and if people buy the course, it's $25. It's not that much. Oh, okay. Got it, Steve. So yeah, it's $25, which is not that much. It's hours and hours of content, and really good concentrated content. But yeah, if things are not working, for sure, let me know. If things are wonky in some way, let me know, and we'll try and fix it. Like I said in the video today, I am my own tech support with this, so be patient. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, Desiree, I'm glad you got that. Not that I'm not glad that other people didn't, but I'm glad you got it. Yeah. All right. So on Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, Katrina's kits are getting together and doing we are right here. We're getting together and we're doing Cook With Me Live. We're actually going to do a Can With Me Live. How about that? If you want to join us and make fake pineapple out of zucchini, if you have zucchini going out your ears and you want it to be pineapple instead, you can do that. It's like alchemy for gardening. I should make a video for that, huh? Alchemy for gardening to join us. Yeah. So it's a good thing. It's awesome, and you can join us on the 17th. It's a Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, and yeah. Okay, so anime. I guess anime. Desiree, message me if you have questions about that, and then we have time. You have time. If you don't have it by next week, we'll figure out that. But for sure, you can message me. Now, I don't have my phone on all the time. My phone does not have Facebook on all the time. So it's only when I look at it. So be patient. I'm not going to answer right away. Yeah. Okay. And Desiree posted in the group for help with the color for her quail. Her quail is 7 weeks old and it has parentage of Schofield Silver collection and potentially Tibetan. So that's the potential parentage. If anybody wants to help out and let her know the color, I will likely not be very valuable in that because colors are not my strong point. I like the jumbo wilds. I like the jumbo birds. There you go. Oh my gosh, an 8-hour trip at 7 a.m. Saturday. 8-hour trip round trip or 8 hours there and 8 hours back. That's a big trip. Remember everything, I guess. Gas up, right? Yeah. I hope it's a fun trip. Make it fun. Make it fun. Play I Spy. 8 there and 8 back. Oh my gosh. Hopefully you're not the only one driving. You can share. Man. I used to do, and hopefully not come back in the same day. That makes for a long day. I used to go down from the Bay Area down to the Bakersfield area or south of there quite a bit for work. And so thank you for moderating, Verna, and thank you for your help. Verna was the reason why we did the giveaway as a random thing because she taught me how to do stuff. And definitely check out her channel Saturday at what time, Verna? You can put a link. It's in the morning. If I tell you a time, it's going to be different than her time. 7 in the morning here, I think, is what it is, Pacific time. Anyway, yeah, there was often times where we would go there, do work, and then come back, and it was a long, long trip. Okay. So at least you don't have to go 8 hours back in one day. It's still a long day. Goodness. Goodness. All right, guys. So I want to know what's going on in your guys' gardens. We've talked quail. We can talk more quail. We can continue to talk quail. All right. So Verna's is Vase Place, and it's 9 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern. And there's a link. 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm getting a correction. Yeah. Yeah, but I want to know what's going on in your gardens. Um, don't have anything coming out of my garden. There's some plants that I planted. I think they're all stunted. Yeah. Yeah. And then, but my neighbor brought me today, the same neighbor who has all this zucchini. I said, you feed me this year, I'll feed you next year. Because they're not planning on having a garden next year. They said they brought over a bag of green beans this big, and they said they picked twice that much this morning. I said, that's a lot of green beans to plant. I've never planted that many green beans. And so I plan on eating some, blanching some, and freeze drying it, and blanching some and freezing some. I don't think I'm going to can any. Canned green beans is not as good as frozen green beans, in my opinion. So I'm going to freeze what I can, after, besides fresh, and I'm going to try freeze drying some. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Desiree's going to finish cage after this. All right. Awesome. Yeah. Then lots of things to do. And it's later where you are. I fed all the animals already, so I'm good. I'm good for the outside stuff. Windows are in. I need to get the stickers off and stuff. They're a little stuck on the window. But windows are in, doors are in. Things are ready to be cleaned and painted. So that's going to be what I focus on next. I do have an event in town on Saturday. But besides that, I think all of my activities, at least for the moment, are not right now, which is good. So I can get that done. Funny thing, I asked at Home Depot, I said, hey, I bought paint here a long time ago. Can I bring it back and you guys can shake it up? They said, yes. So I came in and I brought all my paint back to have it shaken, because it's going to be better shaken than shaken, not stirred. New meaning of the phrase. And at least now I know it's fully shaken, and if I stir it, it just needs a little stir, and because it's been sitting for months and months. I thought things were going to happen sooner. It wasn't. So anyway, so that's what's next on my list. So oh, deer. You guys see the deer? Which way? That way. Hi, deer. Do you have babies? Do you see babies at all? There's one with babies. Look fast at the deer. TV. Deer TV. You typed after, you sent it after it was gone. Yeah, she's going over to the apple tree. I think she might have been the one that had the buckling. There's been 3 bucklings hanging together. I'm guessing they're bucklings. One of them has antlers. There's the babies. Hi, babies. Yeah, that was mom to the babies. They still have spots. Hi, guys. Yeah, they are grown up. They are very healthy looking. And it's funny because they come by that way and they also go right across the front lawn. She usually goes by the front lawn in the morning, and the evening they come back this way. They're cute. They know me. Last night when I came home in my car, I went back into the driveway, and I had backed all the way up the driveway, and they were just eating underneath the apple tree. It's like, okay, I'm of no concern to them. That's fine. Yeah. I read it after it was gone. It was on the screen when you typed it. Not my fault you read so. It popped up. I saw it pop up after it was gone. So the interwebs delayed it. Yeah, so she has 2 babies. So she has 2 babies. There's another one that had one baby, and I haven't seen the baby with it, but I have seen a group of 3 deer, which look kind of teenage-ish, and one of those has little tiny funky antlers. So I think they're all little bucklings. Does anybody else call them bucklings? I don't know if I made this up. I may have. That's how words get invented, guys. And then there's, I think that's it as far as like continually. There's been a fox that's been around, but the deer have been hanging out under the apple tree. They'll hang out all evening into the night over there, or they're across the street and go over in the pasture. So they know me pretty well. I know them pretty well. If you guys watched my glowing eyes video, I'll have to bring that up. Let's see, glowing eyes. So if you've watched the glowing eyes video, you can get kind of a description of the reflection of deer eyes. And let's see here. Gotta fast forward. Okay, talking about stuff. Let's see if it's here. Share screen. Maybe he'll go out there and we'll get his eye shine on video. See how far he goes. You don't really get it when it's up close. Okay, there's our orange eyes. Oh, that was a cat. Where'd you go? There you are. What are you? Okay, that was a cat. Bingo. There's Bingo. What do you think? Are you looking at the bunnies? Okay. Well, I don't know. There's deer in here somewhere. So, evil cat has orange eyes from the side. Okay. There we go. There's some green. I have no idea what this is going to show up on. That's Mama Kitty. It was camera. Raining at the time. The color that you're seeing. All right. We can stop sharing. And there we go. There we go. Steve says you can call it a buckling like a goat, but in a deer, it's a spike. But if it doesn't have a spike, it's not a spike. Is it? Or am I wrong? Is it like a Jake and a Tom for turkeys? Is it a spike and a buck? Or does spike mean it has a spike? Because that's what I thought it was. Steve says, I drove home from Walmart one night and saw like a whole bunch of glowing spots in the field. Honked my horn and all those deer ran off. Yep. Yeah, I mean, they do really well here. I'm actually, knock on wood, I'm surprised nobody has hit one. I'm knocking on wood. Yeah. Yeah, so spike is where the antler is just starting. So there's only one that's that. And other ones don't have that yet. Yeah. I guess it's still a fawn. A teenage fawn. A twan. What is it? A tween is a teenage, like the before you're a teenager. So it's a twan. I don't know. Don't start using that one. Yearling. Okay. Okay. But don't watch that movie. Yeah. Yeah, the deer have been fun to watch. I know some people don't like the deer or think, oh, we should get rid of them. No, they're fine. Are you just making up words? Ha ha. Yeah. Yeah, I am, Steve. How do you think words got made? Someone made them up. Yeah. If you don't know I do that by now, you're not paying attention. Desiree said, button is the very first year for a buck, and spike is next. A button buck? I've never heard of that. Okay. I mean, they have to actually have a button then. So the button is when they are starting to grow their antler. In any case, there are deer, and they are here. Yeah. All right. So what is on everybody? You make up the word, we'll use it, and Webster will print it. That's how Hella got there. What a ridiculous misnomer. Hella came from hell of a. Like, that's a hell of a deal. That's a hell deal. And then for some reason, the meaning completely changed to something that doesn't mean anything like that. So, yeah. I'm okay with making buckling into a name, a thing. That's okay with me. Anyway, so I'm going to be cleaning the walls and priming the walls this weekend and into next week. I'm going to prime everything first. I want to know what you guys are doing. Are you doing something garden related? Are you doing something animal related? Are you buying the course and watching videos? It might be a good time because it's supposed to be hot this weekend. I just forgot about that. We have a heat warning Sunday and Monday. So, yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be my task. And I also need to start thinking about doing apples. So apples are starting to drop. Something just came on here. What is this? It wants me to leave the studio? Why? Okay. I need to think about doing the doing something with apples, preserving wise. I still have apple juice from last year. I should have drank more. I probably will do more apple juice and actually drink more apple juice. And I also want to think about how to preserve apples in different ways. So the apples that I have, at least last year, were a little bit buggy. So I'm leaning towards more of the things that, either juices or applesauce type things. I'm not sure how well they would, peel and cut. So, yeah. Apple pie filling. I could do apple pie filling. I haven't really made many pies lately. I used to make more sweets than I do, and I'm trying to stay away from some of that stuff. But yeah, I could do that. Oh, you're making grout cage, which needs to be done tonight. And good luck. Good luck. Steve wants to know, are you going to pick up your dropped green apples and make your own pectin? I could with that. I actually have, and I mean, I haven't had any need to make. That's what I should do. That's what I should do. I have freeze dried powdered pineapple guava peels that I believe probably have a lot of pectin in them. And I was going to do a experiment, except I don't have things that don't have pectin because apples had a lot of pectin. I think pears might have a lot too. I don't know that for sure. But like my test wouldn't really work with apple to make like apple jelly or whatever. But I do have plums that I need to pick. I'll probably have to do that this weekend. Yeah. I got some new pickers, so I'm gonna experiment with them. And I may make some jelly out of those. I have those cherry plums, and I plan on testing the pectin packet against the maybe equal weight or something. I thought pears was pectin too. Yeah, I was pretty sure. Thank you, Steve. But with the pineapple guava skins, like an equal weight, and do 2 separate batches and see how it turns out. Because I suspect that they can be used for pectin. Because I made pineapple guava, which is a feijoa. I made jelly with that, and I added pectin because I just making it as if it was a regular fruit thing, and it was so thick. I'm like, I think you have some natural pectin, so that's where that comes from. All right, pears have a lower pectin content than some other fruits. They still contain enough to make successful jelly or jam or jelly. Okay. And Howie didn't answer me how he's canning whole pears. Howie, are you still on? I need an answer. um, yeah, so that's the other thing I'm thinking about is with the pears. Like, I actually want to do something with them. I actually do want to can pears this year. Probably pear halves, and I think I have to peel them. Because those are tasty. And I have canned them, but I've canned them once they're already like super ripe. And I think I need to do it. I don't know how hard they should be when canning. And I think it needs to be less hard than when I did before. And so I'll be doing that. Yes, answer to bunny question. Go ahead and ask bunny questions. So I do want to do a bunch of canning of pears, and I might do some other things with pears. So if you guys have suggestions about recipes or products to preserve, how to preserve pears, I might be juicing pears. I think that would be a really fun thing because pear juice you just can't buy, right? Um, got it. Thanks, Steve. Uh, yeah, so like juicing pears would be good, but I need to actually focus on that. So last year during pear and apple season was really right after I came here. I came here, I went to conferences. I went to 2 different conferences, right when I was here. And then it was like, oh, okay, now what? And it just wasn't there. It just wasn't happening. I did some preservation. Most of the pears went to waste, which is sad because they were yummy. But yeah. Desiree, what's your bunny question? Or are you just stating that you have a question and you don't want to share it? Steve says, what's your bunny question, Desiree? Katrina is the bunny guru. Thank you, Steve. It might be a long question. There's only so many characters, Desiree. Okay, sister found a cottontail that ran to her last night and will not leave her alone. It was skinny and cold, and she says it won't stop cuddling up to her. She has it inside right now and keeps it in a box with a heating pad and a blanket over it. How old? How big? If you're asking what to feed it, you can feed it greens. You can do carrots, but carrots actually have a pretty high sugar content, so don't base it on carrots. And I would give it greens from the yard and stuff like that if it's a short-term thing. If it's a longer-term thing, I would get some feed from the pet store. If it's a longer term thing, get it from a feed store. Yeah. Okay, unsure how old, but it can walk, has fur, and open eyes. And what color, seeing as it escaped? So she says it's a cottontail. So I would say that that's unusual behavior because a rabbit's not going to run to a person. I'm going to assume that it's probably a dumped rabbit, and it could be a cottontail. but I'm assuming that maybe someone dumped it, and it knows that people mean protection. And people raise all sorts of animals. I mean, they can raise all sorts of rabbits. So what is your question for that? Is it what should we do? Um, if it's a cottontail, it's a wild cottontail, I would leave it out. I mean, I would, if you want to nurse it back to health, you can nurse it back to health. Which would really just be feeding it and watering it. Make sure it has water, make sure it's food, make sure it's pooping okay. Rabbits, yeah, what should she do and feed it? So if you want to give it pellets, you can get it pellets. That's the easy thing to do. The more natural thing to do is to give it things that are out in nature. It could be grass and dandelion and weeds and all of that. They should not have basically the same thing for quail as rabbits. No alliums, that means onion and garlic stuff. No citrus. I don't know if I think no avocado. And also iceberg lettuce is a pointless endeavor. So I would say no to that. And yeah, clover is a good thing. That's high in protein as well. Clover is a good thing. Most of the weeds out there is a good thing. I mean, I had a rabbit in my yard that ate the saffron leaves, which is like, really, guy? Leave that alone. Yeah, and you can feed it vegetables and stuff like that. Just realize that even carrots have a very high sugar content for rabbits. I would keep things, if it grows above the ground, that's what you should give it. So carrot tops, they love carrot tops, but I wouldn't give it potatoes or anything like that. But yeah, the thing about rabbits is you want to make sure that they're pooping okay. If so, rabbits have two different types of poop. One is called a cecotrope. I still don't have a video on this because I need to get enough video of all these things. One is called a cecotrope, and that is the first poop. They eat that right out of their butt. And they also, if they have like a resting mat, they may have some of it on there, and they may eat it or may not eat it. But if you see a rabbit go down to its butt and come up chewing, it's poo. That goes through twice. That's just what rabbits do. So that first poo, it's going to look like a bunch of small squished pellets that aren't that firm. It's not going to be runny though. It's going to be individuals all clumped together, kind of like wet deer poop, kind of smaller. And then the second poo that comes out is going to look like a cocoa pebble cereal, right? So it's going to be round, larger, and it's going to be harder. Even when it comes out, it's going to be harder. It doesn't harden up after a while. It'll be, it'll be a little round ball that you could squish it, but if you apply a little bit of pressure, you're not going to like squish. Where rabbits come into problems is if there is a poop that is runny. If they have diarrhea, then they tend not to last long. A rabbit can have diarrhea from several things. One is if it's sick, if it has parasites, and that's definitely something that can happen. Another one is if there's too much water in the food. So you really want to be careful about giving the watermelon. It's high sugar, but it's also high water. They're going to drink what they can drink. So giving them that kind of stuff. I would, depending on how long she's going to have it, hay is a really good thing because that has fiber. Also grass clippings will be fine if they're not treated with herbicide. Yeah. What does pending post mean in the group? Are you doing it on the Friends of Sow and Tare? Let me just go in there right now. Oh, thanks for posting the winner, Steve. It means, oh, it thinks you're potential spam. I don't know why it came up as potential spam, but that's what it thinks. So I'm going to approve it to be published. Yeah, so Facebook decides, it uses AI and it decides whether or not something's potential spam. And so let me show you guys what this looks like. Hang on. We're just sharing the screen all over the place. Okay, so here's Sow and Tare, friends of Sow and Tare, and there's all the members, and here's posts. It's usually me posting things, and here Steve put the winner. That's Desiree. Congratulations. I'm going to put that there. Congratulations. And, has all these, like this was today's video. That's the live. I don't know why it didn't put the thing there. But, yeah. So where is yours is the question. Okay, it says recent media, but why is it not showing up in discussion? All right, well, here is the quail that Desiree put. If anybody recognizes the color, let her know. I'm going to guess it's a silver Schofield. That's kind of what it looks like to me, but I, again, don't know all my colors. Yeah. All right, stop sharing. And we're back to here. Yeah, so in this case, the pending post was because Facebook decided that was potentially a spam message. I don't know why. None of the words or pictures made me think so. But yeah, that's why anime is because Facebook decided that your post was like, something's going on here. So yeah. Okay. So Steve says so many Silver Schofield have no names as they are not consistent enough. Yeah, it's a collection. That's what I understand. It is that it's like here's a color collection. Yeah. Okay, yeah, anime, you sent me a message and I not gonna open messages on while I'm doing a live. Some people send inappropriate things. Please do not send me inappropriate things. I'm sure you have not, but there you go. He's got blue-gray eyes. Okay. That I don't know what that means, but I mean, I know what gray-blue eyes are. I just don't know what that means as far as colors. I'm going to say it's the Silver Schofield collection. And what's interesting about these quail, these are Japanese quail, Katrina's quail that we're talking about. All these colors came out of the wild type. So the wild type is what I have or what I had. It's the type that I like to grow. And it is all these colors came out of there as, mutations, which is pretty cool. Okay, Steve has more information. Blue, lavender, and Andalusian are easier to reproduce, so they get their own, though they're still part of the silver collection. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if anybody knows these colors. Go ahead and comment in the Facebook group, and we'll let her know. But otherwise, Desiree, I think you might be stuck with just saying Silver Schofield collection. Schofield is the name of the guy who made the collection. That's all I know about him. I probably know more about him than that, or used to, but I don't anymore. All right, Steve has to run. It is 8 o'clock, which is usually our cutoff time. So thank you guys for being on here and for participating in the drawing. Kind of looks like a German pastel. Could be. And congratulations again to anime game creator, Miss Desiree. Congratulations on getting the course. We will figure out how to get it to you, and hopefully you enjoy the course and tell people how it goes, because it took a long time for me to make it, and it has good content. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for coming. We have another live chat on Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, back on regular schedule, and we'll talk about some things there. I could say anime for short, but since you won, I wanted to say the whole thing. Anyway, so thank you for coming on here. Thank you guys. If you buy the course, that's an extra thank you. If you recommend it to someone, that's extra thank you. And I hope everybody has a good time, and I hope people enjoy the course. So thank you for coming. We'll see you on Monday, and plan for turning zucchini into pineapple next Sunday the 17th for our membership. All right. Have a wonderful evening and have a wonderful night. Bye.